Hello, hello. Welcome to Critical Conversations. I'm the host of today's episode with Samantha Blossom. I'm Karissa Dean. I'm so excited that my dear friend is here. And you know what? We are going to power through some amazing things we have to share with you. So, Sam, first of all, before we dive in too much, tell us who you are.
Hi everyone, I am Samantha Blossom. I'm an opulence oracle, which means I tune into your timelines. I see what is your potential and support you in adjusting your life to move there. I also call myself a manifestation mentor. Essentially, my job is to allow your personal life and your business life to both feel incredibly blissed out.
Yeah, she's a blissed out coach. That's what I call you.
Yes.
She helps you fall in love with every aspect of your life. And so we are coming together again. One of the really unique things I think about Sam and I is that we're collaborating. We're both in the coaching industry. We work with clients in very unique ways, but I think we're rare in the fact that we come together and we celebrate each other. And we have had the divine privilege of hosting a really epic masterclass back in the end of 2023. That replay is available for download for those of you who are like, I'm curious. Head to my Instagram or Sam's. I believe there's a link in both of our bios where you can go purchase that and experience the magic of our collaboration. So today we're coming together because we're talking about, we're continuing the collaboration. We hosted a program together in January. We had an amazing group of women who came together, and the feedback we got was how supportive it was to have the blissed out magic of Sam and the more maybe structural 3D human approach that I utilize when I come together with Sam. So, I utilize the ICF methodology, but I'm also very intuitive. I've been in business for a long time. That's how I kind of got into coaching, is because I was ready to help women be more successful on their own. And now I'm addicted to it. I'm addicted to helping women break free from these societal norms. And so, Sam, tell us how it is that you work with clients so uniquely.
So I feel like I use some very special modalities that kind of tune into the subconscious and the superconscious. So I work in a top-down effect, which means I'm updating the consciousness, which is the blueprint and the life force instructions into your physical reality. So by updating how life force flows, your physical reality shifts and changes. Also, that includes tuning up your thoughts and frequencies. So for instance, when you say something to me in a, we're in Telegram right now. I usually use WhatsApp, but in a Telegram voice note, I can hear the frequencies. I can hear where you might be coming from, that scarcity or fear. And we can almost like go in and tune it up and being like, okay, if you continue that route, you're going to create this. But if we were to tune up that frequency and tune up the thoughts, you could create this. And it's always these tiny little 1-degree shifts. Imagine a relationship, and if your brain creates negative stories, the relationship would depart. But if you create more gaining positive reflections and narratives, the relationship could grow and evolve. Because, that's just real life. We're always going to experience some type of conflict. So how do you manage the growth in the conflict instead of seeing the conflict and thinking you need to go into avoidance? So that's kind of some of the things that I work through, which means it supports you in getting into the flow state faster and taking you out of resistance.
Yeah, and I've experienced this firsthand. Sam has guided me through many sessions, and she's totally transformed my life. And the way that she approaches it is with so much love and compassion, and being a witness to her and working with the same clients. So Sam and I were in the same Telegram chat. We're supporting our clients, and it was so fun. I think as a coach, it was fun. As Sam's friend, it was fun. And also seeing it from the perspective of the client was so fun, because what she does is she literally can hear you say, and she'll be like, okay, hold on. I'm 30 seconds into this voice note, and here are 5 things that you're getting in your own way around. How could you tune this up? And so what she does is really unique and magical. And I've worked with a lot of coaches. I've been in masterminds with a lot of different people. There is nobody like her. And so the way that Sam and I come together is I'm really bringing this 3D life experience. And I'm saying, okay, let's take what Sam gave you. Let's tune up this frequency. Now, how do we hold it? How do we implement it? How do we really attach it to the action that you need to take? Because the reality is, and Sam knows this, right? She mentioned, like, I helped get you into this state of flow. There's a flow that has to happen in business for you to get the things that you want out of your business. And there's a way to do it where your business is working for you. And there's a way to do it where you're like a machine of your business, right? Where you're making it, you're forcing it. Maybe you're acting out of that fear state that Sam mentioned. And so the collaboration of us coming together is like getting you into flow. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to ninja all your action. And I'm going to help you understand why you're getting in your own way. And then together, Sam and I, we're going to clean that up. Why are you getting in your own way? And we're talking, so the standard, this program we ran in January, we're doing it again. We're going to continue on. And here's why. It's too epic to quit. It's too epic to quit, because it's not just your business. It's not just, I want to make more money. It's your relationship to yourself. It's your relationship to your family. It's healing mom wounds. We had a lot of deep conversations around mom and family dynamics. We are going to look at friendships. We're going to look at every aspect of your life, and we're going to shift it so that the standard is that it always feels good, that you always have this vibration that feels amazing, so that your life is flowing. So that's what we do with our clients. That's, kind of part of why we're collaborating. What I love about Sam is I love her unique approach. And again, I'm going to repeat myself here. There's nobody like her. There's just nobody like her. And you can feel the difference being in her space. And I've witnessed what is possible in her one-on-one sessions as a client. And I've also had the beauty of being in this unique collaboration with her. And I've seen it firsthand for our clients. And so I think the way in which she approaches life helps you learn how to move in flow and in love. She will help you fall in love with wherever you're at in life, no matter how shitty it is. I have seen Sam be like, let's fall in love with it. I'm going to get you there. I'm going to walk with you side by side. And I don't care what it takes. We're going to fall in love with where you're at. And from that place of being so madly obsessed with where you're at, now we create. Now we stack on that. And there is literally no one in the industry who can do this. Hands down, I've been in rooms with a lot of different coaches. Nobody does what Sam does. And I'm honestly so honored that she chooses to continue to collaborate with me, because it's such a beautiful gift for me as an individual to be in this unique partnership. And I think I mentioned this. I know Sam and I have talked about this. It's rare for coaches to be able to work together. And I think the reason we can work together is because we're both leading with love. We both believe that there's more than enough. I really want Sam to win, and Sam really wants me to win. And that means that our ego has been set aside. And there are moments, I think we always have moments because we're still human. But what Sam and I make possible for clients is magic because it's not about us. It's about the results that we know are available for you. So that's my little like Sam charge up. I wanted you all to know why I'm choosing to collaborate with her, why I love her, and why she continues to be a presence, not only in the podcast, but on my social medias, and why we're going to continue doing this group program. So I'll turn it over to you, Sam.
Wow, I love some of the pieces that you brought up, and I just wanted to elaborate on when we get upset or we drop into fear or your anxiety around something. That's when the resistance happens. We stop the flow, and so that's what the standard is about realizing all of creation is beautiful. Yes, there's these uncomfortable things that we move through, but a shift in the perspective can make it much lighter and can support you in moving through it a lot faster. So I love working with Karissa in this way. There's so many reasons why I love working with Karissa. She's a bright light, honestly. Like if you're coming in with like something heavy to work with, she can see it and she can turn it around so fast. And I think that she sees things that I don't see. And I think that that's what's so great about working with two coaches is that like both of these coaches are going to see tiny little things that are just a little bit different, but it's going to like boost you up so much more. And the beauty of Karissa is she does know the 3D structure. She does know how to ground all these things in, and she makes it more fun. She makes it easier. She makes it less scary, which is also a frequency thing, right? So if you wanted to create your YouTube channel, or you want to create your podcast, or you want to set up a nonprofit to go into your business, right? And if you don't know the how-to steps, that can feel really scary. But Karissa can take it, break it down, give you easy steps, and before you know it, you're done. Before you know it, you took the action. And that's incredibly important in any kind of business world, right? So I feel like you get the best of both worlds working together. You get the frequency, the energetics, making sure that you're tuned into your genuine desire. You actually have the emotional bandwidth to take the action. You are clear about which actions to take. You just simply map it out, take the action. So it creates this like very beautiful streamline in your business. And especially like I think we are pack animals. I believe that we grow in groups, and I also believe that collective learning is really powerful. And so when all of us, our brains are like calibrating, we're like, oh, remember, like, how do we stay in these high frequencies of love, right? If you read that book, Power versus Force, at 200 is courage. Most of the planet is at 200 and below. So everything around you kind of brings you down a little bit. And we're here to say, hey, let's stay above that. Let's really get into, and what will be really amazing is your body's gonna start to heal. You're gonna feel more energized. You feel happier. And because of that happiness and that joy that's naturally birthing from your cells and your consciousness in your body, the actions that you take will shift and change. The people that you attract into your life will change. The clients will change. Everything will start to shift as you really do the deep inner work to allow this to open up and unfold. And so I feel like me and Karissa are like a little match made from heaven, and you know, I do feel like we were like divinely guided to come together because it was just so fast and there wasn't a lot of mental thinking. You know, we were just like, oh yeah, and it just sparked, and to me that's always like some form of like, you know, miracle divine guidance.
Yeah, miracle divine guidance. I mean, I think it was like we met over the summer. I was like, I love you. Will you come on my podcast? We met about that. Then you came on my podcast, and then we were like, wow, that was so fun. Let's have another call. And then we were like, what if we did a masterclass together? What if we named it this? What if we did this? And then after the masterclass, we like got such great feedback from people. I mean, there were people who were like, I loved how Sam took us here, and then Karissa kind of sealed it with something that I knew I could walk away with and implement in my life. And I could take the frequency and the action and really marry the two so that I get the result that I actually want. And I think that is why we chose to be like, okay, what if we did a group program? And I remember when we were talking about like, well, what do we name it? I don't even remember how, but it was like I was out and about, saw a billboard. It had The Standard on it. Driving downtown Portland, there's a building, The Standard. I'm like at a restaurant and there's something on the menu, The Standard. And I'm like, dude, we got to name it The Standard. And then it was just like in our own lives, like this is where the divine intervention comes in our own lives. We're starting to talk about it and we're like, oh, I'm going to change this frequency. This is my new standard. This is my new standard of how I live. This is my new standard of how I engage. And it just like, it has been the most effortless thing I've ever created. I don't know. How do you feel?
Well, I also wanted to mention that we created that first masterclass, Future Goddess Now. And Karissa knows I live in Santa Barbara, but she had no idea that I'm actually from Portland, Oregon, that I'm from Vancouver. Like, I was born in Portland, from Vancouver, Washington. Like, we create a whole thing, and then we're like, oh my gosh, we're literally, like, of course, you know, and that's, like, how real vibes are. It's just so fascinating in that way. But yeah, and I just feel like, to me, it's like when something flows, it's just meant to happen. And what I love about The Standard is, just like Karissa said, it's not just your business. It's what's the frequency in your text? Like, are you texting from this like fear and anxiety and I hope this happens, but actually like I'm a scared little girl, which I've definitely been there. Or are you texting from like, hey, this is so much love, it's so much power, and I'm just sharing this out of like my compassionate masculine, like I just want to share this, right? Are you texting and sharing from this space of like love and non-attachment? Or is there like neediness behind it? And these are the tiny little things that as we clean it up, it starts to change the way that the hologram of life responds back to you. Because the universe doesn't think of good, bad, right, wrong. The universe is just whatever you're emitting out, let me mirror that back to you. And so as we keep tuning up all the different areas of your life, like how can I be an energetic match to power in this text, in this email, in this program that I'm creating, whatever that is. And so you start to see that mirrored back to you.
Yeah. And I think the thing that makes it so fun to work with clients in this unique way is that we really are eliminating so much more in the collaboration because of our unique perspectives, because of the unique ways in which we work with clients. It's like, in the standard, it's like coaching on crack, right? Because it's just like, it's too good to be true. I mean, I feel like the results that the people who joined us in January, the things that they walked away with are like lifelong shifts that I don't think that they would have got had we not been in the collaboration, because of the uniqueness of you and the uniqueness of me and the space, the container that we're holding together, the frequency that we're really like, because the reality is, right? You're a human and I'm a human, which means we're going to have human experiences, which means that we're both going to dip. And so the power of this collab was like, when I was like, oh my God, what am I doing in life? I could reach out and be like, I'm like a little bit short today. And Sam would be like, I got it. Yeah. So it's almost as if you never lose the frequency because one of us is always holding it. Like we never dipped at the same time. It was always like, I'm having 5 minutes, and you were like, cool, have your 5 minutes. You'll be back.
Yeah. And I also like the ranges that we play with, like I feel like I'm in the like 10K to 100K per month for the coaches, but like Chris has really managed like $1 million a month businesses, and so it's like that awareness of like how to manage the different spectrums of what a business needs or desires. I think the fact that there's two of us, so we can observe worlds, is also really amazing. And because this gives you so much space. Like whether you're like a coach that's gonna make her first 10K month, we've got you. You're at the business level, you're doing your $1,000,000 months, like we've got you, you know. And I think that also makes us very unique because every stage that a business is at, like they have different desires and different needs and different structures to allow the business to continue to be in flow and be sustainable.
Yeah, and I think the feedback too of like, you know, how you have experienced such simplicity of it happening, and I've experienced kind of the polar of that. I mean, I've had so many months where I'm like, I worked so hard for this and now I'm depleted. And so it's like whatever way you're currently running your business, we're going to stretch it and we're going to make it super fluffy so that you have space. Like people come to me all the time and they're like, I don't understand how you do it all. And it's all about the attention I give it, the energy I give it, and how I'm structuring it. So, and it's like the beliefs too, right? Like you talk about beliefs all the time. Well, you're blocking yourself because you're not believing. And so it's just like, we're going to stretch, we're going to expand, and we're going to hold. And we both understand how to pull you out from a dip because we both experience these like dips. We're human, right? But we like carry each other through it. And this is the power of that, like you were saying, that group think, right? And I think there's so much in business where if you're sitting at a table with people who aren't entrepreneurs and they're not believing in the thing that you're creating, even if it's a relationship, right? Let's say you're at a table with girlfriends and they don't believe that you can have this quote unquote standard for a relationship. You got to get away from that table and you got to get into a table where people believe in you. And that is the power of the standard, is that this group think, we're coming together to say, nope, it's possible.
Absolutely. And when you surround yourself by people that inspire you, and it's like, you know, you're hearing about what they're creating, when you have that inspiration, it makes you do different things because we all have the same amount of hours in a single day. But what actions get taken in that day depends on what you're fueling yourself with. Like, what thoughts are you fueling yourself with? What energy are you fueling yourself with? And I think something, you know, just unique. I believe me and Karissa both do this, but it's like a tune up of your aura. You know, we both make sure that our auras are tuned up, highly energy nutrient, and we take specific actions to make sure our energy field is really bright. And that is part of the transmission. Like when you work with us, is like we're always tuning up our force field. So you have a single conversation with us and things start to change really quickly, you know? And not every coach tends to their aura, and not every coach tends to the frequency of love. So some coach may have all the strategies, but you might feel fear, panic, burnout, and anxiety while you're creating those money goals. And I just don't think it's worth it. I really feel like it's about the journey of the soul. The soul's here to grow. And if you can be in alignment with that love and that growth, the money that comes in feels really good. And I feel like as a people, we're evolving into that.
Yes. Okay. So let's talk about really briefly what happened for our clients that worked with us in January so that we can really help people see why it's so valuable and why they should sign up to start this standard with us as when we kick it off here in March.
Yeah, so I think one of the women, she's incredible at business, but I think that sometimes when you've been doing this for a long time, you can start to get bored, you can start to get kind of burnt out. And that was the story she was telling herself. She's like, I don't want to do this task anymore. This is like, you know, and when you don't want to do something, you're the one creating that distance, and you're going to see that slow down in your business. And it didn't take very long. We were able to like break down the beliefs and help her see like, actually her business is so fun. It's so magical. And as all the things started to shift, one, her love relationship like skyrocketed, and she had more love. She had that same love from like that beginning honeymoon phase. She started to heal her relationship with her mom, and then she also started to get booked out in her business again because she was actually feeling excited and inspired about her business. And we had another client that had, you know, some very powerful moves to make. She had to move away from a specific group, and she had to create a whole new group, and it was a very delicate experience. And she was able to handle it and manage it with flying colors. She also had a very hard family experience that happened during it that I believe normally could have dropped her so hard, but we were able to say right away, hey, remember, you have a really big mission. That is a distraction that's trying to get in. Let's pause on those emotions and like clean that up and realize like it's not yours. And I think that's the thing. A lot of times we don't realize that we're taking on things that aren't ours. And if it's not ours to play with, to manage, to take on, it's going to feel draining or exhausting the system, right? But if it is ours, we're going to feel light, we're going to feel vibrant, we're going to feel like I have the energy to do this. And to support someone and being able to identify that, like that changes the entire trajectory of what happens in the next 6 months.
Yeah. And I think the thing that was so, like, the thing I'm like so obsessed with about this. So if we take this example of this client who basically had to like start over, right? So she was in collaboration, had to part ways, go a different way. There was the energetics of it that Sam and I was able to touch on. And there was also the piece of the legal stuff where I'm like, okay, I've been there. I know it. Let's talk about the legalities. And then in your new business structure, here's how we're going to set up your contracts so that you have a structure in place to support you from this particular situation. And even in that, it's like we were able to pre-game plan, okay, what are the other potential threats that we can just like eliminate because we're going to be smart business women and we're going to put it in the contract so that it's not even a thing you're going to have to consider down the line because there it is on paper. And so I think, you know, it's like there's results that you're getting that are like life-changing results. And the cool part about that group think was like, as one person was diving into, I need to heal this relationship with my mom. The other person was like, oh man, it's not my mom, but I'm going to apply it here. And same thing, like, oh, this business thing is happening for this person over here. And the other person is like, dang, I'm going to tighten up my contracts to protect myself, because the reality is you get to improve. And so when you're sitting at a table or you're in a room with women who are like learning and growing and they're being vulnerable and they're sharing, you get to learn about yourself and you get to protect yourself and you get to have this foresight that you might not have if you're just trying to do it all alone.
Absolutely. And I think something that people don't think about, which I can't imagine why anyone would think about it, but the consciousness from when you start a business. Like if you start your business from like, oh my gosh, like I'm in fear and scarcity and I just need to make this work, like that energy, then you're going to have this habitual pattern of that. And we can go in and adjust that and tune it up. Or the fact that she got to start her new group, you know, with a brand new intention of, I'm at a different frequency now. This is who I am now. The types of people I'm going to call in will be completely different. And she's starting to become aware where she was creating that it wasn't to blame the external, but that there was something in her own field to adjust, fine tune, so that she could attract a completely different type of group.
Yeah. So basically, the standard, you're going to fall in love with yourself and your business and your life and your relationships. Everything is going to improve. Mm-hmm. And you're going to get results. And I think one of the really coolest things is both the relationship and the business opportunities started to come for these clients. Like they literally would be like, oh my God, you'll never guess who emailed me. Oh my God, you'll never guess who called me. Oh my God, you'll never guess what my mom said or what my partner did or like what my kids said. I mean, it was just like every day there was something to celebrate, because in that group, we're stacking celebration, right? We're in the moment being like, let's tune this up. Let's change our perspective. Let's clean it up. Let's debunk this. Let's create a new strategy. Let's create a new order of operations. And it's like, literally, I think every day somebody was like, there's a new opportunity at my door, whether it was personal or business related.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
Sam, tell everyone, as we're hitting our 30-minute mark here, what's the standard going to look like? When's it starting? What are the details?
So I actually don't have the dates in front of me. I don't know if you do. But,
Hold on.
Okay, so it's gonna be the Tuesdays and second and fourth Tuesdays at 10 a.m.
Yep.
And we have a 3-month option, a 6-month option, and a 12-month option. Everyone's going to be able to have full access to the entire online program. So even if you just do the 3 months, you're not missing out on anything. But if you do the extended 12 months, you're going to have that, two on group support. Like you're going to have both of us supporting you every step of the way, which is phenomenal. And this round is very in-depth. There are very tiny things, like we're working on relationships, we're working on all of the frequencies of your written content. We're exploring your entire physical space, whether that's your home space, your office, your car. What is still vibrating at scarcity and what is vibrating at love, and how can we essentially adjust the entire hologram of your reality so that everything feels better, and how to maintain that, how to continue that evolution. So this is really a lifetime's work. It's adjustments, small adjustments, where you'll feel extraordinary changes, and we're so excited about it. And I really feel like it's the time. I feel like on the humanity's evolutionary process, like I feel like this is a moment where we're realizing as a planet, we're actually just learning how to love, and we're learning how to expand that love. And we're realizing that our heart is an actual force field that magnetizes and attracts incredible things, incredible opportunities. And that sometimes some of us naturally just tap into it a little bit, but we don't know how to hold and sustain it. And this process is to really piece by piece support you in understanding, how do you hold and sustain this? And I really feel like, if you're here to build a legacy in your business, it's about keeping your heart really open, because all of us know that sometimes in business, your heart can get hurt and wounded. In relationships, your heart can get hurt and wounded. I saw a dip in my business after my breakup because my heart was wounded.
Yeah.
Nothing in my life did I think, because of this wounded heart, I'm going to be blocking clients, right? But when you can keep your heart open, you're attracting clients. You're attracting awesome opportunities. Like, things come in when the frequency of this force field is really strong. Your heart chakra is the mixture of the heavenly energies and the earthly energies. And so this is your transmuter here. And this piece is really, really important. And I think that many of us don't fully comprehend it. And there's so much power in it.
Yeah. So much power in it. Okay, so the dates are, we're going to start on March 12th, and we are going to run on the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of every month. And so we're going to do this for a year, like Sam said. There's in the bottom of the show notes, we're going to link a website. In the website, we actually detail out what each month will be themed around. And like Sam said, there's 3-month, 6-month, and a 12-month option. So you can get your feet wet with one of those smaller options, or you can be like, you know what? I am done. And I am ready to really radically transform my life completely, inside and out. And the magic of this, again, Sam mentioned it, the heaven and the earth. Sam is the heaven, I am the earth, you are you at your heart center, and everything is going to come together at you in the heart center, and Sam and I are going to hold you there to that frequency, and we're going to help you elevate again and again and again, because the reality is you get to be a constant change and improvement, and your frequency and your life gets to get better and better. But you have to commit to that like long-term evolution and that long-term growth, which is why we give you that beautiful year-long option. What else am I missing? Anything else you think that people need to know before we close this podcast episode out?
No, I think mainly the biggest thing is imagine feeling better than you've ever felt in your life. Imagine, one of the comments I often get from my clients is, I look 10 years younger. And that is the frequency. That's a feeling in your body. And I can't imagine anything being more valuable than that. And eye cream is not going to do that. You know, like eating extremely healthy food actually also doesn't sometimes do that. So I really feel like when you know how to tune up your own power, like that's everything. You know, if you can tune up your own power, you're attracting the right foods for you. You're attracting the right products for you. You're attracting the right people for you. So yeah, I feel like this course that we've created is incredibly invaluable. It's amazing. And if I knew about this when I first started coaching, I would have said yes right away.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I just like, you know, you don't know what you don't know. And I don't think I understood where I was creating from panic, fear, anxiety versus like an actual mature level of like soul understanding and wisdom, and like creating from my faith, truth, and love centers, right? It's like, it's kind of like I thought I was, and you kind of hit it, but I wasn't like sustaining it, you know?
Yeah, I think that's the piece for me, is like the standard is the sustainability of it. Yeah. And I think that's the piece. Like there are a lot of programs and people and things that you can do to quote unquote feel better. What Sam and I are talking about is holding the frequency of that for the next year, for the next 5 years, 10 years, your whole life. You will be able to reference the teachings and the practices and the tools that we're going to share with you in the standard, because you're going to always have that point of reference where you're like, oh, I have a new standard, and it gets to get better and it gets to elevate, and I'm in control of that, and I get to create it. And I mean, I agree. I wish somebody would have created something like this when I was starting out. But I think that's the divineness of it, is that Sam and I have been through hell and back. And now we get to teach people. And again, she's the heaven, I'm the earth. We're coming together. We're so excited. So it's really easy to ask us questions. So don't hesitate. Like, I want to just encourage you to lean in. Don't let your fear of money get in the way. Don't let your fear of time get in the way. The sessions will all be recorded. So if you're traveling, if you need a week off, you're going to get the information, and we're going to help you. We're going to be supportive. Sam and I want you to get results. I think we're both result driven people, solution driven, growth driven. So we're starting on March 12th. We'd love to see you in there. Don't hesitate to reach out. Below the show notes of this podcast episode, I'm going to link the website where you can get all the information. We break down every single month. My handle will be in there for Instagram. I'll put Sam's handle in there for Instagram, and DM us. Just let's have a conversation. If you're like feeling edgy or you're like ready to go, there's a button, click it, sign up, and we'll see you on March 12th.
Amazing. We love you so much. Thank you for taking the time to charge up with us, and we can't see you inside of the standard.
See you there.